Well, hey there to you, my gorgeous Design Diva professionals and my Design Diva design lovers on Instagram. So good to be here with you. And hello there to you, my gorgeous peeps on Facebook, all of my Design Diva professionals and my Design Diva design lovers. It's good to be with all of you. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate, and that is because I advocate on behalf of teaching you the best that there is to know in design, whether you're running your own design business, whether you are a lover of design, working on your own home, whether you're working with clients, whether you're working on your own. I'm here to support you in attaining whatever it is that you're trying to attain aesthetically or in your business. So every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, I stop what I'm doing here at my luxury design company. I'm based in the Philadelphia region of the United States. We put a pin in it here at our studio so that I can come out and talk to you and teach you a lesson on something based upon usually questions that I'm getting, DMs that I'm getting for topic requests. And we are going to be doing something that a lot of designers have been asking us about and sharing their stresses about. And I think it's a topic that is relevant to design lovers working on their own home as well. So even if you don't run your own business, I think that today's topic is something that probably will affect the way you approach design as well, and hopefully reduce your budget stress. So here's what we're going to talk about today: the dreaded B word, budget stress. It's a client stress, and it's something that makes designers, a lot of them, really nervous and uncomfortable. Why? Well, when you think about what designers do with clients, we touch people or tap people in two very vulnerable areas: your home and also in your wallet, right? Because interior design, we've talked about this, furnishing and filling one room, let alone a whole home, usually costs more than anybody thinks it should, thought it would, or wished it did. That's just a basic reality. In fact, let's go a little further for a sec in the playing field. We've talked a little bit about this, but price increases come down the pike in every industry. They come down the pike in the interior design furnishings industry, home furnishings industry. Every year, there's an increase, 3 to 5%. There it is, just happens. Then there's this little pandemic called COVID with interrupted supply chains, with shipping costs going through the roof, with container shortages, with trucker shortages, with shortages of supplies, foam shortages. And not only are we talking about long lead times, but we're also talking about more cost in things that are arriving and more price increases. I was talking to my procurement manager in my company, and we were doing a budget forecast for a project, and she said, this makes me nervous because I'm used to relying on numbers and looking at numbers as something I can trust and lean into. She said, I feel like everything's written in jello right now because the pricing increases during COVID are coming down the pike so fast and they're so big, comparatively speaking. We're not seeing 3% and 5% increases. Sometimes we've seen 15% increases, 10% increases. These are massive increases, and we're seeing so many of them come through the year. Usually it's you get one from a resource in a year. That's it. We've seen multiple increases from the same resources in some cases. So I'm not saying this to be, Debbie Downer. I'm just telling you it's the state of the union. This just is what the playing field is. So costs are what costs are. And if you add to all of this the idea that, to furnish and fill one room, there's a lot of product that goes into that one room. Think about a family room, let's say, that has a fireplace and it has flanking bookcases on either side of the fireplace. And let's pretend that the fireplace bookcases on either side of the fireplace are open, shelving above, and closed storage below. Just having that open shelving above in duplicate, that type of bookcase could easily suck up at least 20 to 25 or more accessories to style it out. 25 accessory items. Yes, that's a lot of stuff because you're clustering things and you're building vignettes, blah, blah, blah. So that doesn't even include, all of the furnishings, the furniture, the rugs, the art, right? The window coverings, how many windows are in that room. So the costs really add up. So clients get really stressed about this, or they can, and designers are getting stressed about it also. A lot of designers, and give me a wave or a heart if you can relate to this as an interior design professional, a lot of design professionals get nervous talking about numbers and budgets with clients. And they're afraid when you see that your client is upset about something, or you're not sure how they're going to take some news about budget, it's making designers get more uncomfortable, and it shouldn't. So here's the problem where the cause really is. It's not that the budgets are where they are. It's not that the costs are what they are. There are two things that you as a design professional are doing that is absolutely compounding your stress, making it all so much worse, or two things you're not doing. So here's something I would like you to do, which will completely zap budget stress. You need to manage expectations from the get-go. I was talking to somebody that I'm interviewing to potentially engage in my company or hire into my company as a designer. And we were talking about this very topic, budgets and costs of things. She was saying that a potential client had called her and said that she wanted to do her living room from scratch. She had one piece of artwork she wanted to reuse, and she said her budget was $10,000, which is a lot of money. It just isn't a lot of money to furnish an entire living room when you're dealing into the trade goods. So the designer said, listen, I don't know how I can do that for you. You'd need to raise your budget to X. I don't see how that budget will give you what you want, even if I lean into the lowest cost resources that I have as a designer. I still don't see how I can land an entire living room for you at $10,000. So she managed the potential client's expectation upfront, and then the potential client had an opportunity, a choice. Do I increase my budget? Do I reduce the scope of my project and do my living room in phases and ask, hey, what can we do for this $10,000? Or do I say, forget it, I don't want to hire this designer, I'm going to go do this on my own and look at my own lower cost product? All that designer did was align this potential project for success because she managed expectations. You must do that. I wish I had it. Oh, do I have it here? Do we have a binder of, I should show you what our budgets look like. Hang on. I don't think I have a budget here, a budget binder. We have entire binders that are just the line item projections of a budget for an entire residence. The more you control the numbers and show your client that you are aware of the numbers and you are controlling the total dollar spend, the more comfortable your client is going to feel about you managing this project. But even more than that, it allows you to manage the project in a way that you don't have to feel stressed because there are no unexpected numbers coming in. If one number comes in a little high, you see that you can make it up elsewhere in the budget, and you explain that to a client. Managing expectations at the beginning. Evaluating, is this project scope commensurate with the project budget? What I always like to say to my potential clients is, listen, it's none of my beeswax how you set your budget. That's for you to determine, but it is my business and my responsibility to serve and manage your budget. So I need to tell you if I think what you want to accomplish is doable on your budget. Maybe you have too big a budget and I can say, hey, we could do this. I don't think you'll have to invest anywhere near that. Or I might need to say, hey, this is perfect. I see there's great alignment here. The worst thing you can do is try to make a client or potential client happy on the upside, on the front side, and not be candid about where you think the purchasing costs will be in their project. Let them sign you, and then have surprises along the way. That happened to me a couple of years ago. A client was excited to hire me. They really wanted my work. They really loved our work. They were big fans. I was concerned from the get-go that their project budget was going to be tight, and it was. And the more I showed her things that were slightly beyond her budget, the more upset she became and said, hey, you got to find other things. So I went to search for lower cost items. It's hard to do because we're already at the bottom of to the trade goods. And now my design fee is going up while we're trying to save her several $100s on one item, but my design fee is going up. So we're trading out one area to the other. She was very unhappy with me. I'm sure she's still throwing darts at my picture. It was painful for me to disappoint a client in that way. We parted, not happily, and I learned my lesson. I don't care how nice I think someone is when they call my company. I don't think how lovely no matter how lovely I think they are, no matter how flattered I am that they're so excited to hire me, the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. And if the numbers don't work, then you shouldn't hire designer X. That I never should have let that family hire me. And I regret it to this day that I let them do that. So managing client expectations, guys, is a must. The other thing I want to tell you that will lower your client's budget stress and yours, if not eliminate it entirely, stop editorializing. That's right. You know, there's a fact and then there's editorializing the fact. So the fact is it's raining outside. Editorializing that fact would be, oh, got some terrible news for you. It's raining outside. The fact is something that's provable in a court of law. It's raining outside is the fact. All you need to do is say, it's raining outside. Here's what we need to do about it, or here's what we can do about it. So the fact is that this wallpaper came in higher than I projected that it would be. Here's why. Managing expectations. It's made of natural leather. It's printed on hide, whatever. Here are the reasons why it was beyond what I originally put into your project and thought we would use. Offer alternatives. Here's what we can do instead. Let's eliminate this paper and let's look for a vinyl or a faux leather. Let's eliminate wallpaper entirely and apply that budget towards something else in your project you're excited about. Don't editorialize. You will make your life a lot easier. Frankly, in business, I actually sometimes have to say to my team, just give me the news. Don't editorialize. Oh, this is really stressful. Oh, you're not going to be happy. That's all editorializing. Just deliver the facts. The cost of broccoli is $1.89 a pound. This rug costs $30,000. There it is. I didn't editorialize. I didn't say, ooh, I have a really expensive rug for you. But if a client says, listen, do we have $30,000 in the budget for that rug? Perfect. I love it and I want to do it. Now I've had clients push their budget beyond what I projected they would do. And I have said to them, Andrew, for example, you can have that $30,000 rug, but I'll never be able to make that up entirely over the course of your whole 3-room project. His answer to me was, Donna, I really like this rug. I'm going to have this rug. I realize I'm putting us over budget. It's not by your doing. I'm going to have this rug. And that's what we did. This gentleman didn't like any of the rugs I showed him that were within budget. So we had to keep going upstairs and upstairs and upstairs in quality, design, and price. So have clear conversation. Manage your clients' expectations. Be careful about what types of project work you accept, and make sure you are speaking respectfully but dispassionately about the numbers. They're just numbers. 5, 7, they're just numbers. They're not good or bad. They just are. Alrighty? So hopefully that helps you. If you have any questions about budget stress that you feel in your design projects as a designer, managing client expectations, dealing with difficult situations with clients, feel free to put in your client management or your client budget question. If you don't have any questions on that topic, I'm happy to wrap early and we'll pop out and I'll get a little more work done in the studio before I have to wrap out for the day. Also, while I'm giving you a chance to put in your questions, I want to let you know that if you would like even more support as an interior designer in your business, please check out my Successful Design Business Checklist. It's this packed 11-page checklist that is a great checkpoint, litmus test, and even launchpad for your design business. If you are in business less than 8 years or 8 years or under, I should say, you should get this checklist, whether you're just starting or whether you have started. Some things that I bet you've overlooked. So I put a link to that in my Facebook description, and for you guys on Instagram, link in bio. Alrighty, so while you're putting in questions, if you have any, I want to let you know that next week we're talking about how to add winter curb appeal to the exterior of a home. How to add winter curb appeal for the exterior of your home. So I hope you'll join us for that. Alrighty there. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Alrighty, so I think that we don't have, okay, so here we go. So Beverly Antone is relating to everything that I'm saying. Sandra, oh wait, what am I doing? Let me see. Sandra Jackson is saying, I recently had the same problem with the rug being one price on this day, and within 2 to 3 days, the price had gone up by $50. Luckily, the client agreed to go along with it. So Sandra brings up a fantastic point. right now, and designers, we have no control over this. You know, we get a price quote from a showroom, from a resource, and those prices are protected for a particular period of time. We used to get them so that they were protected for 30 days. Now, we sometimes are told we can protect this for 10 days, we can protect it for 7 days. We had to say to a client once, you're going to get a 15% hike in all of this furniture from this one resource for your entire home, because it's a big home, if you don't sign off on this by Tuesday, because there's a price increase coming down the road. And this is like, we're calling it the Wild West right now because of COVID. It is unusual that prices go up like this, but they are going up. And I have one client now who'll ask me, well, what would this have cost me before COVID? And I've said, well, I don't really have an answer for you. You know, he said, like, should I not even buy a dining room table? Because what would it have cost me before COVID? Jasmine in our office just had a baby. For Jasmine to say, well, what does formula cost now versus before COVID? She needs baby formula. So here's what it is. Or to say, hey, I bought a car now versus 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago it cost less. So I think it's very difficult to try to, gauge, should I not buy something because it's had a COVID increase? Will these COVID increases go away? I don't think they're going to go away entirely, guys. I really don't. You think about what happened with the cost of oil when oil went really, really high and gasoline prices went super high. They've come down, but they never went back to where they did, prior to that big spike. So what Sandra's talking about, these price increases that are coming down the pike, just be aware as a consumer, be aware as a designer. And designers, please be very cognizant of warning your clients. This is a price quote I have for you on all of these items. We can honor this for this number of weeks, months, days, whatever it is, so that you're managing their expectations. And again, don't editorialize. This is what it is. These are the circumstances that we're all operating in right now. And you can tell your clients too, this is applying to my life also. It's not just you. I'm telling clients, even in terms of fulfillment and the long timelines, I'm having the same issues on things that I've ordered for my own home. So here it is. All right. So, and Beverly's adding, yes, everything is costly. It is. And things don't go down in price. So let me just tell you that if you've missed any portion of this, you're welcome to find us, or hope you'll find us on YouTube at The Interior Design Advocate. That's YouTube at The Interior Design Advocate. If you're not following us on our teaching brand, I hope you will, at decorating.genius. You guys are already following us there, so that's good. And definitely grab a copy of my checklist, The Successful Design Business. That's not even the right cover. Sorry. The Successful Design Biz Checklist. Alrighty. So it looks like we don't have any other questions, which is terrific because I am on deadline here in the studio. I've got to get back to designing. All right, lovelies. It was great seeing you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week for how to add wintry curb appeal to the outside of a home. How to add wintry curb appeal to the outside of a home. Okay, guys. See you next week. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.